Happy New Year! Today is the 7th of January 2022, and I have not been here for a couple of months, and I'm feeling a little bit rusty having to talk to a camera in a room by myself and not really knowing what to do with my arms. So I solved the arms problem by grabbing my drink. Anyway, so I was going to do a 2021 wrap-up video and then, talk about all the things that I made in 2021 and then all the things that I want to make in 2022, and that got really overwhelming, so I put it off. I just sort of avoided recording this. So I'm paring it way down. Let me put my drink down. Right, so I've pared it way down. We're just doing, I'm just going to do a quick review of what I've worked on the last couple of months, and then what I plan to work on next for the next couple of months, and just do a quick look back and a quick look forward, and that's about it. So I've had to record this a couple of times because I keep running out of battery or running out of storage on my phone. So my piles are a little messy because I forgot to reset them before I started recording. So I'm just going to jump in again. Okay. Last August and September, I think. I know I mentioned this in a previous video, but I don't remember if I showed them all the way open. So this is one of my pie shawls. This one is made with hand spun. You can see the little eyelet pattern there. I don't remember what kind of sheep it is. I bought it at a festival and then lost the label, but that's just a little short one. I wanted to get the hang of the pattern, so I just wear it a little folded over, and then I take a hair stick and I stab it through, and I wear it like that. And then you will have also seen me working on, in a previous video, working on this one. This is another pie shawl. It's made with a Knit Picks tonal stroll sock yarn. I originally bought the yarn for some mittens and then needed a sort of a project that I didn't have to think too much about, and this is just a lot of around and around and around. Really, really good if you need to keep your hands occupied while you're paying attention to something else. So this was really great knitting for me in the fall. I had a lot going on. So pie shawl, Elizabeth Zimmerman. It's I got the pattern from the Knitter's Almanac. I don't know if it's been published separately from that, but it's the July project from that, in case you're curious. And it's not blocked yet at all, and I haven't woven in the ends, but yet I wear it nearly every day, and I have done since, I don't know, November. Anyway, and then in November and December, my project was knitting hats for my family for Christmas. That's just your basic hat recipe. I used Swish Superwash from Knit Picks and held double with size 10 circular needles. And yeah, it's just my basic hat recipe. Nothing really fancy about that. It takes a couple hours to knit up, and I made about 20 of these in all different colors. They're really, really squashy. That's why I keep doing this. So I made a bunch of these for my family, and I hope they enjoy wearing them. And then I've shown this mitten several times, I think, on this channel. So again, it's the Yulebuck mittens from Skein Deer. I still just have the one mitten. The second mitten is about halfway through. Partway through last year, my brain stopped being able to do color work. I couldn't concentrate on it, and I kept making mistakes and was getting really frustrated. So I put it down until I am in a better mood to do color work. So hopefully I will get this finished before the end of winter, because they're a gift for a friend, and I would really like her to be able to wear them while it's still cold out. So that's the first knitting thing that I'm going to try to finish. This is a skirt that I'm working on. I'm using Knit Picks Wool of the Andes. I originally bought all this yarn for the Christmas hats project, but I judged it to be a little bit too woolly potentially a little too woolly for my family's taste. I like the texture of wool, so I don't mind that sort of, it's not scratchy. I wouldn't call it scratchy, but it's definitely woolly, and I don't mind that texture. I actually really like it. So this is a skirt I just did a little folded waistband, and I have no pattern. I just cast on enough stitches, and then every now and again I add on some more stitches. So I'm making it fairly A-line. I want it to fit fairly snug through the hip, and then only a slight flare out A-line from the hip down, because it's meant to be the layer closest to my leggings when I wear all of my layering skirts. So I don't want too much volume under there. So this is going to be a whenever I get around to it project. I would like to wear it before the winter is over, but there isn't a hard deadline for that. And then speaking of other winter garments, I have, this is a pair of leggings that I am making from the leftovers from the Christmas hats, the yarn that I actually picked for that. This is, again, Knit Picks Swish Superwash, and I've only just done the cuff. I did a 2x2 rib on there. This is another Elizabeth Zimmerman pattern, and she does a garter cuff and with an option for a stirrup elastic, and I opted not to do that. I just wanted a rib knit cuff, and I made it fairly snug so I could put it into my boots easily. And then I'm just going to knit each color until it runs out, and I have a second pair of these needles, and I'm going to knit them kind of in tandem. I'll knit one color on one, and then I'll switch to do the same color excuse me, on the other, so that they're approximately the same length, just in case I have any weird gauge issues. I don't want to end up with a really long leg and a really short leg for these. So yeah, the pattern, like I said, it's an Elizabeth Zimmerman pattern. I'm using a copy from the Opinionated Knitter collected newsletters. Yeah, I forgot to bookmark it, but anyway, there you go. That's what that's from. So that's it for my knitting. And for sewing, I have these petticoats, these flannel petticoats that I've been wearing for a few years under my winter dresses, my layers. And the hemline it used to be at my preferred hemline, which is a couple inches below the knee, but now I prefer a mid shin or even high ankle, between a mid shin and an ankle length. Is where my preferred winter hemline is these days. So I'm adding about 6 or 7 inches of ruffle onto the bottom of these. And I have them all cut out and ready to go. So I have this, I don't know if it's called a buffalo check. I know buffalo check is usually red and black. I don't know if it's the same name, if it's gray and black, but I have that. And I also have this red and white polka dot one. And the one I'm wearing is this fabric, which I love. And it is, I've got a hot pink ball fringe, like a pom-pom fringe on the bottom. So I'll do a quick insert video of that right here. Here's the rainbow petticoat with the pom-pom fringe. It just makes me happy. I love seeing it peek out from under my dresses as I'm walking. Okay, so, right, yeah, so that's those are my flannel petticoats that I've got. The next projects I have that I don't have out on my table are some garments that I've already pre-cut. I cut them actually last summer or early fall, and I've got some 3/4 length sleeve linen dresses that are going to be up next. It's basically the same dress that I'm wearing, just with 3/4 length sleeves and in linen. Oh, I forgot to show you one thing in the knitting category. So hold on a sec. Where did I put it? Oh no. Aha. Okay. So a friend of mine requested a nose cozy. Now, 10 years ago or so, I was making these all the time. I actually have my own right here. And it makes me feel very Muppety. And I love it. Mine has a tassel. The one I've made for her does not have a tassel. She said she would find it too distracting. And it definitely is. Anyway, it definitely is distracting. So it's basically the toe of a sock, like a short row toe. And then for hers, I did crochet chain strings. Mine is an I-cord that is, it's not ties. It's a fixed I-cord. because I wanted to be able to just pull it up and down and not have to deal with ties on it. But for her, I don't have her here to measure her, so I just did strings that she can tie herself. Yes, okay. I think I'm finally done. Yeah, so that's what I've been working on, what I finished, and what I have coming up next. And I want to show you a little bit of my organization plan here. Yeah, I had been organizing using the Make 9 format, and I'll do a link to that below. I'm not using that this year. It turned out to not be as helpful as I thought it was going to be. I don't really like looking that far ahead. I like looking the next couple of steps ahead. And then I have this whole big list of just where I throw all of my ideas. And then occasionally I'll read through that and then pick out a couple of ideas that I want to make next. And that just happens to be how I'm working best right now. So that's what I want to show you on the pin board. Here is a better view of my pin board. I had last year, I was using the Make 9 plan, and I had notes for every single item that I wanted to make with a checklist on their next steps. And because I spent so much time going off book, going off my plan, all of my notes and things became background noise. So here it is a lot more streamlined. I only have the next several projects up here. So I have my knitting queue with all of the things that I have just told you about, and little drawings there to help. I want to color them in, but I haven't yet. But it's just to keep my interest. And then over here with the sewing queue, I have swatches of fabric that I have pinned up next to the things. This one here I haven't talked about. That is a jacket for Jesse. It's an old sweatshirt jacket that he has that requires significant mending. So I'll be working on that. And then I also forgot to mention this is my dress form. I call her Eliza. And she is getting a new cover, and she will be padded out to my measurements. I have a bootstrap pattern for that. And then I have the knit fabric and the bias tape that I'm going to use for that. And then when I'm done with a garment, I bring the swatch down to the finished section and I pin it there. Yeah, okay, so that is how I'm using my pin board this year, and I hope that it will work out for me. Okay, that about wraps it up for today. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this little look back and look forward. And my plans are to do one video a month, hopefully for the rest of the year. If I can do more than one a month, then I will. Basically, I'm just going to update when I have things to talk about. So when I see you next in February, hopefully I will have finished some of the things that I talked about today. But I hope that you have I hope that in the year to come, you have the time and the space and the resources to work on all of the creative projects that you would like to work on this year. I know that for me, when times are tough, I put my energy into making things, especially things that I find comforting and nurturing. So I hope that for you, your creative outlet is exactly what you need, and you're able to do that kind of work if that's the kind of thing that makes you happy and keeps you well. So happy 2022. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you in February. Bye for now.